Oh, so you don't get to go on R&R no more.
Mm. Cut all that out.
Yeah, they're making you go
Said it was too
double time.
expensive.
Oh, shoot. That's pitiful.
It is.
Now you got to do 2 or 3 tours of duty.
Yep.
And no R&R.
No R&R. Yep. What is it about the Vietnam War that makes it unique from all others? Or is it unique from all others?
I don't think it's really that much unique from the other wars, World War II and Korea. I think they're just basically similar.
War is war, right?
War is war. If you're getting shot at, you're getting shot at.
So what was your gun? Was it an M16?
M16. And I usually carried a M2 carbine sometimes. And that's another thing, they would let you carry basically whatever weapon you could handle if you had the ammo for it.
Which one did you prefer?
I preferred the M16, although it was a weapon that would jam on you in a heart attack.
Yeah, that's probably not a good feeling to be in a firefight and your weapon jam.
Now, when it say click, you have a million feelings go through your body. What has just happened?
Yeah, that's not a good time for it to jam.
No, wrong time.
How many times did you get shot? How many different places?
It was like shrapnel.
Shrapnel?
Just more or less a mass force that flies at you. So it was like a bunch of more or less pellets. So I would say 2 or 3 times.
What was the shrapnel from? An explosion of some sort?
It was from a RPG round, rocket rail grenade, RPG 7. They would find them and it was hidden, and once they hit a tree or part of a tank, it just throws stuff everywhere from the surrounding area.
Did they ever get all the shrapnel out, or is it still in?
I would say it's all probably all out.
Is the RPGs the main weapons that you faced against the VCs?
No, it was the AK-47 was the main weapon. But all the units that the North Vietnamese carried were also the RPG. That was one of their main weapons.
How did you learn to distinguish the VCs from the South Vietnamese?
No, you couldn't. whatsoever, no distinct difference.
So you just shot at whoever was moving, huh?
Yeah, that's the only choice you had. Because we had a lot of guys that were former BCs that worked with us. They were our interpreters and our guides. And so you couldn't tell them apart.
Yeah, I've heard that was the
Yeah,
hardest part
and a
about
lot
it.
of times we would end up working with units that were North Vietnamese, and we didn't know who they were until you came under a major attack. That they were enemy, and they were dressed in friendly clothes. So and you know this was horrible too. But you know that's their country. What can you expect?
Mm-hmm. How did you view the Vietnamese while you were over there? Did you ever have any animosity or anything for them, or how did you look at them?
No, I didn't. Well, look at it this way. Well, I'm a visitor here. This is their country, and you know they say they invite us here to help them as friendly. So, you know, what can I say? If you invite me to your home country, and you know, I'm not a politician here. I'm not a religious person. So, you know, I don't have too much to say that, you know, I'm just a guest in your country.
Have you ever been to the Vietnam Wall in D.C.?
Yeah.
What was it like going there?
No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see all the names that the government have taken this opportunity to display this wall. And I had the opportunity to see one guy from Bolivar, Tennessee name on the wall.
Who was that?
Sylvester Beauregard.
Did you know him?
Yeah, I went to school with him.
Where were you at when you were drafted? What were you doing?
I was getting ready for college.
Where were you going to go?
Federal City College in Washington, D.C.
Did you ever go back to college?
I had the opportunity to finish college. I mean, not finish, but complete 1 year of college in Panama when I was down there.
So what did you do when you returned from Vietnam?
I went to work at a factory here in Bolivar by the name of Jervis. And I didn't work there that long. I went back in the military, and I went back into the military. About 4 months later, I returned to the military.
Did you go back in the Army?
Yeah.
Why'd you go back?
Well, there wasn't any opportunities out here, so I said, well, what the heck, you know where your opportunity and what you can do with the military, so explore that. So
How many years did you stay in service?
I stayed in service for 8 more years, and then I returned to the military National Guard, and that's where I retired from.
You went to the Army National Guard?
Uh-huh.
How long did you stay with them?
I stayed with them about, I think, 14 or 15 years.
What rank did you retire as?
I retired as Staff Sergeant.
What rank were you when you went to Nam?
No, I was Specialist 4th Class.
other medals do you have that, other than, the Vietnam campaign medal and that sort of thing? Do you have any others?
The Good Conduct Medal, Vietnamese Gallantry Cross, Bronze Star.
What'd you get the Bronze Star for?
Basically the same thing as the Silver Star.
What'd you do it twice?
Just a repeat.
What are some of the things that you would want someone to know about your experiences in Vietnam that maybe they don't know, or maybe about the Vietnam vet in general, about the war?
Well, I think that the thing about a Vietnam vet to me in general, personally, is that he is just a basic human being, as everyone else, dedicated to his religious life, his education, and his business pursuits in life. And so I think that's what the average vet, to me, were dedicated to in Vietnam and here in this country.
Were you married when you went over there?
No, I got married after I came back.
Do you have anything as a result of your experiences? I know some people don't like the sound of helicopters or whatever, nightmares or whatever, because of your time in Vietnam. Do you have any trouble with anything?
Well, I did for a while when I first came back, for about maybe 6 months to a year. But after that, it all vanished.
What was that? Just the nightmares and stuff?
No, I don't have them anymore.
What is the one thing, the one most positive thing you took away from your years in military service?
Well, the most positive thing that I taken away from my military experience was the teamwork that they incorporated in individuals. And the time they dedicate to training.
Do you think teamwork had a lot to do with a lot of you guys surviving some of those attacks?
I think so.
Yeah, because when you're outnumbered, it's kind of...
It counts a lot. Yeah, and that's one thing they really put a lot of emphasis on, is that teamwork. And it works.
Do you have any regrets about Vietnam?
No.
Anything I hadn't covered?
I think you covered it pretty well.
Think so. Let me find out where these pictures are and cut these
Okay.
out